6 months is no good.
And the number one thing that we are going to do immediately, and you will see this happen, is to clear out the debris. And we're concerned right now over the weekend because of the potential rain, but we are going to move as fast as we can, but we want you to be safe. And we want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't cost a lot.
Yes, and they can.
You should let them do it, because by the time you hire contractors, it's going to be 2 years.
If a family...
The people are willing to get a dumpster and do it themselves. He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract that's going to charge him $25,000 to do his lot. Yeah. I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked, you have a very powerful emergency power, and you can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes.
So today, after he visited North Carolina and the Hurricane Helene disaster site, Trump also took a visit to California to obviously discuss wildfire relief with the local leaders of the state. And things got pretty heated, as you could imagine, because here's the deal. Okay, as I've been saying for a very long time, you have to hold the Democrats in this state accountable. Yes, you can say that things happen, and they absolutely do. Yes, wildfires are commonplace in that area of Southern California. However, as Trump, this is not playing Monday morning quarterback, right? Trump and many others were saying this for years. No, when you blatantly mismanage your water resources, when you don't clear out brush, when you don't manage your forests, of course, those things are basically giant matches waiting to go up in gasoline. Obviously. And so it is frankly irresponsible to not be holding local politicians accountable in California when they saw this coming. The insurance companies definitely knew this was coming. So let's not pretend like this was some type of surprise. They refused to do anything about it, and obviously we know where we are. But it is definitely interesting that Trump went to, for instance, Karen Bass's face, the mayor of Los Angeles, and told her to her face, look, you're doing this wrong. Because usually, guys, when presidents take these sort of disaster visits, it's all just empty platitudes, right? It's all about how we as Americans have to come together, and Democrat and Republican, we're all gonna, unite and all this stuff. But it's like, okay, what is that actually doing for the victims? Well, in the case of North Carolina, Trump explicitly said, here are the executive orders I'm going to do to remove FEMA and remove the red tape so that way this rebuilding can happen faster. I'm not going to just go here and give a political speech for PR. No, we're going to do things to help these people. In the case of California, he is directly saying to those local politicians, you have to get rid of red tape. The rebuilding is going to be impossible without it. And that was especially highlighted in this heated exchange right here, where Trump calls out Karen Bass to her face. And we'll show you in a second. First, folks, do us a big favor. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe if you are new. You subscribing is the #1 way to ensure we can keep doing these videos. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything, but it ensures that we can keep giving coverage to underreported stories like these. And with that said, okay, so here was, again, at the kind of like disaster talk today, where Trump calls out Karen Bass on her lies right to her face.
6 months is no good.
And the number one thing that we are going to do immediately, and you will see this happen, is to clear out the debris. And we're concerned right now over the weekend because of the potential rain, but we are going to move as fast as we can, but we want you to be safe. We want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't cost a lot.
Yes, and they can.
You should let them do it, because by the time you hire contractors, it's going to be 2 years.
If a family...
The people are willing to get a dumpster and do it themselves and clean it out.
And they can.
There's not that much left. It's all incinerated.
That's right.
And, it's just going to take a long time if you do. You can do some of it, but a lot of these people, I know that guy right there that's talking. I know my people. You'll be on that thing tonight, throwing the stuff away, and your site it'll look perfect within 24 hours. And that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract that's going to charge him $25,000 to do his lot. I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked, you have a very powerful emergency power, and you can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can. Well, yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon.
Well, okay, so there you go, right? Karen Bass just immediately got caught in a lie because, to contextualize the situation, what she is saying is, we're going to send in people to clear out the debris. Of course, Trump is bringing up a very valid point. Especially in California, these contractors clearing out the debris are going to take forever, okay? It's going to be 2026 and there's still debris in the road, and that's obvious. So what Trump is saying is you got to lift the red tape and allow, in some cases, if people are able to clear out their own debris so they can get back into their homes, very obvious. But what Karen Bass is trying to say is just massively gaslight. She's trying to say, no, people are allowed to. They can clear out their own debris. It's a total conspiracy theory to say we're not allowing them to do that. Just like Gavin Newsom said, it's a total conspiracy theory that looting was ever legalized or decriminalized in California. And then this reporter fact checks and points out that Trump was right? Because the reporter points out, how can they clear out their debris if they're not being allowed to go back to their own homes, right? You can't clear out the debris around your home if you're not allowed in. And Karen Bass, caught in a lie, says, well, yes, they're not allowed to be back in their homes, but we're trying to work on that soon. Okay, so what you're saying is Trump is right. You are not allowing people to go inside themselves and clear out the debris. There you go, right? Again, bold-faced lie there from Karen Bass. Astonishing, but amazing. You love to see it, right? Trump is the alpha. He's commanding the table here, and the mayor is just out lying. She's just talking nonsense. Trump's like, no. And then, all right, but it doesn't stop there, so let's keep watching.
Mr. President.
We think within a week.
That's a long time, a week. I'll be honest. To me, everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work, and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most important thing is for people to be safe.
They're safe. You know what? They're not safe. They're not safe now. They're going to be much safer. A week is actually a long time, the way I look at it. I watched hundreds of people standing in front of their lots, and they're not allowed to go in. It's all burned. It's gone. It's done. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's not going to burn anymore. There's nothing to burn. There's almost nothing to burn. And they want to go in. The people are all over the place. They're standing. And I say, why aren't you going in? We're trying to get a permit. And the permit's going to take them. Everybody said 18 months. You said 18 months.
Boom. It's just absolutely fantastic to see that finally you have a leader at the top, the president, who is not just writing a blank check to California like Joe Biden promised. And hey, take accountability for nothing. You let this happen again. We'll keep bailing you out. No, Trump is now even in the process of rebuilding, pointing out how freaking incompetent Karen Bass is, how incompetent the local Democrat leadership is. And he's completely right. You have to get rid of this red tape if you want the rebuilding to happen fast. And Karen Bass, again, there just caught absolutely in a lie because she's saying, they can declare the debris and they can go to their homes. Oh, wait, no, they can't go to their homes. She is such a ridiculous basket case of a human being, okay? But it doesn't actually stop there because Trump also got into an exchange with Democrat Congressman Brad Sherman, who, very interestingly, this is actually my congressman from my home district that I grew up in, right? My childhood home is in Brad Sherman's district. And take a listen as Trump calls him out and the Democrat Party of California as a whole for allowing the insurance crisis that largely contributed to this disaster, right? A lot of people right now don't even have insurance to cover the fire that happened because the insurance companies all left the state because it was economically unfeasible for them to stay. And take a listen to that exchange.
A big percentage, I would assume, Brad, like that. What are they going to do? Go ahead.
Mr. President, without your help, they're only going to get $43,000 from the federal government, even if they have a $500,000.
You did something,
loss.
Brad, where every insurance company in the country left California. That's why you have no insurance, because you made it so impossible. People that think like you made it so impossible. And
Brad, me,
every
Mr.
insurance
President,
company.
I don't know what
I'll tell you this,
about my thinking.
I've never seen a state where almost nobody has insurance. And I said, what happened? And they said like 6 months ago, they all left. And 2 years ago, they had different, quadrants, but they left. And you have very little insurance here. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
We had a lot of insurance companies pull out, but I have no idea.
And the insurance companies actually have been warning you. Now, I'm not a big fan of insurance companies, okay? They have their big drawbacks too. But The insurance company, I read the papers very well. And, they've been warning California for a long time. They've also been saying, we want water. You don't have water. You're supposed to get fire insurance. And the insurance company goes, you don't have any water in your fire hydrants. So it's a tough situation.
That's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. I love that, the conservatives, the Republicans, the room just start clapping as Trump is calling out Brad Sherman. Total loser, by the way. Total lightweight, as Trump would call him. But no, this is what you need to do. Because these local leaders in California are the most arrogant, just conceited people ever. And I think they seriously kind of saw this coming. In fact, they had to see this coming because, again, the insurance companies clearly saw it coming, right? And, as Trump brings up, and I totally agree, I'm not the biggest fan of insurance companies. I'm not here to blanketly defend them, but you also have to understand their perspective in the situation. When these homes are just literally waiting to light up on fire because of the blatant mismanagement, and they leave and the Democrats do nothing about it, and they're oopsie, when everyone's home burns to the ground without insurance. Yeah, you need to be called out on that. You need to be called out on the just mismanagement of all the resources. But this is what they were thinking. Okay, they were hoping, especially back when Joe Biden was president, that, hey, we're going to get a blank check. We're never going to be held accountable. No one's going to care. And then obviously very early into the crisis, they rapidly started to find out that no, the local residents of Southern California, which are overwhelmingly Democrat, we're not exactly talking about people buying into right-wing misinformation like Gavin Newsom claimed they were. No, they saw what happened. They're frustrated with their local leadership, and they're starting to turn on, these people. And of course, now Trump is coming along and saying, no. You thought you were just going to get a blank check. You thought that this was just going to be a pat on the back, your whole unity speech. Oh, let's all come together, Democrats, Republicans. No, you need to be held accountable, which they absolutely do. And he's bringing that accountability. He's calling them out to their face. And, he also announced today, as we'll talk about in a different video, that the aid to California is not going to be unconditional. It's going to be conditional on the fact that California has to finally get its act together in preventing these wildfires, right? Because when you have something really bad happen, okay, yeah, you want to help people, fine. But you also have to take steps to ensure it's not going to happen again. And of course, if California has their way, if these Democrats have their way, they're just going to do nothing, right? Okay, they're going to keep the same environmental regulations. They're going to keep allowing these fires and everything, right? Whatever. Because, and we know that because in the past, right? In the first term of Trump, when he was telling Gavin Newsom after the wildfires that struck catastrophically back then, it was the PG&E fire, actually, to be specific. When Trump was telling them back then, you got to clear the brush, you got to manage your forest, they didn't do anything. In fact, they called Trump crazy. And then now look at what's happening. You have the worst fire, arguably, in California history, even worse than back then. Yeah, you can't allow this to happen again. You have to hold these people accountable. So glad he's doing it. So freaking satisfying to see. And yeah, they're not happy. They're not happy. But again, this is exactly what you have to do. With that said, guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new. And until next time, God bless and peace.